Hello everyone. Today I am going to explain how Spring is integrating with Hibernate. So now I am going to take one simple login form example. First I will explain the functionality of login form example and then I can explain the coding part. So this is my login form project. I am going to run this project. I am going to deploy just run on server. I'm going to deploy this project in Tomcat server. I'm going to select the finish button. Now this is my landing page of my project. So here we can see the login button. I'm going to click this login button. Here we can see this is my login form. Here we have two fields. One is username, another one is password. So here I am filling the username is Java Basics and password also Java Basics. Here we have a button called login. So before going to login, I am going to check in database. So I am using MySQL is a database. So this is my table name login. I am going to check it is having any data or not. So here we can see the login table is empty table. We don't have any data. Now I am going to click this login button. After click this login button, the username and password is going to store in a MySQL database. So I am going to click this login button. So here we can see successfully login. Now I am going to check in database. So just run this data. So here we can see the username Java Basics and password is Java Basic. So the data is stored in a database. Now I am going to explain the coding part of login form. So this is my project login form. I am going to expand this project. So here we can see the Java resources. I am going to expand this Java resources. Here we can see the src folder. This src folder contain all Java files. That means all .java files is stored in a src folder. Here we can see multiple packages. So here my base package is com.java. So here we can see the different packages com.java.b, com.java.controller, com.java.dao, com.java.model, com.java.services, and this is the resources. It contains all the like properties file. Now I am going to I'm going to expand the com.java.bean. So here we can see the login form bean. So this contains the bean data. Whenever we are fill the form and send the data, that time this just bind the front data. I mean nothing but a whatever data is coming from front end like username and password, and it will send it to the control classes. So this is the controller package com.java.controller. If you expand this, we can see the login form controller, and this controller is nothing but a like front controller. It will get the data from the front end and it will process and it will send to the service layer. Then service layer will do the some transactions and it will send the data to the DAO layer. So the DAO layer will do the some like database related operations and it will store the data into the database. Now here we can see the DAO layer. So the DAO layer is used to store the data into the database. So here we can see the model class. So this model class basically bind the data and it will transfer the data from one layer to another layer. So here we can see the com.java.services. So this is nothing but a service layer. This service layer mainly used to do some transactions, and here we can see this resource is nothing but a this db database dot property. So this file contain all the database related files, data. So here this is nothing but a properties file. This properties file contain all the database details like here we can see the MySQL driver name. This is the URL of the database. This is the username. This is the password. Here we can see the dialect and this is the SQL and auto update. These all are the database related properties. I will explain the later the detailed discussion of this properties file. So here we can see the web content. Under web content we can see the different folders. So here we can see the web-inf folder. So if you expand the web-inf folder, here we can see the different folders. This config folder maintain the Spring configuration file. This lib folder maintain the all the libraries, nothing but a jar file. Here we can see the views. So this folder contain all the JSP files. So here we can see the web.xml file. This is the index.xml file. So whenever so this is my landing page. So this is a URL of the landing page is index.jsp. So actually this is my landing page URL. Whenever this index.jsp page is loading, so now I am going to explain the flow of the project. So it will take the index.jsp here, and this is the web.xml file. So this web.xml file is nothing but a deployment descriptor. This contain all the front controller details like servlet details and welcome file list. Welcome file list is nothing but a it is a nothing but a landing page details it maintains. So here we can see the index.jsp file. So this is nothing but a landing page URL, and after landing page, whenever so here we can see the servlet. This is servlet mapping, this is the servlet details. So here we are taking the servlet name as a servlet, and here the servlet class is a, this is nothing but a dispatcher servlet. It acts as a front controller, and here we can see the init param. So param name is context config location. So param values, here we are mentioning the Spring configuration file false. So here we can see this Spring servlet.xml file. So here it is located in this. So here we can see the web-inf, under web-inf config folder. So here under web-inf config folder is there. So here we can see the Spring configuration file. So now I am going to explain the Spring configuration file. So this is the most important file. So each and every component is very important, because here we can do the Spring with Hibernate configuration. So here we can see the placeholder, property placeholder. Here we are giving the location equal to class path resources slash database properties. So this is nothing but a this properties file path. So whenever the page is loading, the Spring will read the all the properties file from the properties file. So here we can see the context component scan. So this is nothing but a base package. So here base package is equal to com.java. So in our case, our base package is com.java. So that's why we are mentioning the base package is com.java. Here this is nothing but a Hibernate transaction manager class. So this here we can see the configuration of Hibernate transaction manager. So this is a object of Hibernate transaction manager class. So here in this Hibernate this Hibernate transaction manager job is, so it will do the operations like all the transaction related things. It will handle this Hibernate transaction manager class. This contain one property called session factory. So the configuration of the session factory is nothing. This is the session factory configuration. So this session factory configuration, so session factory is nothing but a, it is used to create the sessions. So if you want to interact with the database, we need a sessions. That's why we are creating the session factory object. So using this session factory object, we can create the sessions. Through sessions, we can interact with the database. So if you observe here, here we have a some Hibernate properties. Here if you see here Hibernate.dialect. So this is the property. Here we are mentioning the Hibernate.dialect. So it will read the from this this is the property dialect property. From property file, it is the reading all the details and show SQL. So this is the Hibernate dialect is nothing but a, so dialect. If you use the Oracle database, you can use the Oracle related dialect. If you use SQL, you can use the SQL dialect. So in our case, I am using the SQL. That's why I am using SQL dialect. So this dialect job is, it will generate the SQL queries related to specific database. So here we are using the MySQL database. So it will generate the SQL queries related to SQL database. So this is the show SQL. That means because of these properties, it will show the logs. So here we can see the logs like whenever our query is running, we can see this queries. Because of this property, we are see the show SQL means it will show the SQL related queries in a console. So this is the hibernate.hvm2.auto. Here if you see here we are mentioning the update. So because of this update, so it will just to it will check the either the table is existing in the database or not. If not, it will create the new table, and also it will check the any column is missing or not. If anything is missing, it will create the new column also. Now I am going to show you. Then here in session factory we have a data source is there. So this is the data source related configuration. In this data source we have a four properties. This is the database driver and database URL, database user, database password. If you see the here, this is it will get the data from the properties file. So here we can see the SQL driver, and this is the URL of the MySQL database. This is the username of the MySQL database. This is the password of MySQL database. So this data source contain all the database related properties, and this data source next we can see the here is the view resolver. So the view resolver will resolve the view based on the input request. Here we can see the there are two properties are there, prefix and suffix. If you see the prefix, we can see the webINF use. So this is the path of the this JSP path. Here the prefix is nothing but the extension of the JSP file. Now I am going to show you the source files. So first I am going to explain the here this is the index.jsp. So this is the landing page. If you see here, this is nothing but a landing page. In this landing page, it's contain only login hyperlink. So here we can see the hyperlink login. Whenever you click this login, so whenever if you click this login button, so this login page is displaying. So here whenever you click this login button, this URL will take, and it will go to the login form controller. So this is the login form controller. So control comes to here, it will map the login URL with this URL, and here we are using the request mapping. It will map the incoming request. In case here we are getting the login as a URL, and here we are using the request method as get, because we are getting the data. So here we have one method, welcome method. So then control will return the login. So whenever this will return, it will go to the login.jsp page. So it will return the model and view object. Here in this login page we have two properties. So it's nothing but a username and password and two text boxes, one login button. So here we can see this is the username label, this is the text box username, and this is the password label, this is the password name. So here we can see here we are using the form, login form. So form name is login form bean. Here we are using the action equal to welcome, method equal to post. Why we are using the method equal post means we are going to store the data into the database. That's why we are using the post method. If you want fetch the data from the database, here we can use the get method. So this is the very important components. So this form name is login form bean. So this form bean contains the two properties, username and password. So now I am going to go to this login form. So if you observe this login form, here we have a two properties. I am declaring one is the username and one is the password. Here we are generating the setters and the getters, because this is only bean. So it will get the front end data. So whenever if you click this login button, so this username and password is setting into the this property, two properties. After setting these properties, it will come to the login controller. So here it will map this because here we are going to, if you observe here login.jsp, so it will come to this action equal to welcome. So if you go to here login form controller, the incoming request will come to the welcome is the URL. So now I am going to show you the, So whenever click this login button, here we can see the URL is welcome. So here we can see the welcome. So the request mapping is welcome. So it will execute the login form. Here I am using the post method because we are going to store the data into the database. So here we can see the login form is the my method name. In this we have a model attribute. This model attribute will get the model data. Here we have a login form. This is the object of login form. Here is the binding results, and this is the object of binding results. So here what I am doing is, here I am creating the login model object because we need to send the data to one layer to another layer. So here I am setting the username and password to this login form model object. So here we are getting the form data. So getting username and getting password to setting into the login form. So here we are getting the data from the login form bean. Whenever we are click this login button, so whenever we are click this login button, username and password will come to and store into login form. So here we are getting the get username, that means it will get the username and password, and we are setting into the login form model. So here if you observe here, I am injecting the service class into the login form controller. So this is nothing but a login form controller. So this is the login service. So here because I just create the login form service object. So here if you observe login form service dot add login data. So whenever we write this one, it will go the data to the login form data in a service layer. So now I am going to go to the service class. So I am going to show you the service. So this is nothing but a I am taking one interface login form service, and here I am taking the one method and I am passing the login form data. So this will interact with the, it will go to the implementation class of login form service. Here we can see the login form service implementation, and I am implementing the login form service interface. So this is nothing but a service layer. It will indicate that this is the service layer. Here I am auto wait the login form DAO. So because of this auto wait, we can interact with the login form DAO. Here we are using the transaction propagation dot required and read only equal to false. So here we can see the login form add login data. Here this data is passing from controller to service layer. I am going to send the this login data to the login form DAO. So if you see here, this is nothing but a login DAO interface. So this is the interface. We have a add login data is my method name. Now I am going to show you the implementation of this interface. So this is my login form DAO implementation class. I am implementing the login form DAO interface. So this is nothing but a, it is indicate that this class is nothing but a repository class. That means it will store the data into the database. So here I am injecting the session factory. So if you see here Spring configuration file, here we are creating the session object. Here we are creating the session object. We are I am injecting this session factory in my login DAO class. So using this login session factory object, we can create the session, then only we can interact with the database. So here we have a method add login data. Here we are getting the login form data. So if you see here the session factory dot get current session. So this method will create the session from the session factory. Based on this session, we can store the data into the database. Here I am using save or update method. So this is the Hibernate method. In session we can get this save or update method. So it will store the data into the database. So here I am sending the login form details. So using this statement, it will store the data into database and it will print the final statement. So now I am going to show you once again how this is executing. Now I am going to run it. Run on server. Finish. So this is nothing but a landing page. Whenever I click this landing page, here we can see the Java basics. I am going to free into the Java is username and password also Java. I am going to click on this login button. whenever this login button is clicked, so the data is stored into a database. Now I'm going to show you. So here Java username and password is stored in a database. Now I'm going to show you the debug mode. Run as debug mode, run on server. So now I'm going to show you in login. I'm going to show you in debug mode each and every component I will explain. It will take some time to start the server in debug mode. So we are getting the landing page. Whenever I click this login button, so we are redirecting into the. So whenever this click on this login button, it will start in debug mode. So based on the, so if you see here, whenever click this login button, so here we can see the, so whenever click this one in the index.jsp, it will take this login as a URL and it will go to this control class. So this control class, it will map this login as URL and it will map this login. Here it will come whenever just click on the F6 button. So just here we can see the login page. So here I am going to fill the I'm filling the username is Ram and password also Ram. I'm going to click on this login button. Whenever I click this login button, this will take the, so whenever I click this login button, if you see here in this login.jsp, it will take this welcome as a URL and based on this URL, it will come to here. Here it will map the welcome as a URL and it will come to here. So here if you observe this login form bean, this bean contains the username is Ram, password is Ram because this data is getting from the front end. So here it will get the this username and password. So here I am creating the login form model object and here if you see login form dot get username means it will get the username from the login form. So here we can see here getting the Ram as username and click on F6. Here you can see the password is password also Ram. So here we are getting the username and password and we are setting into the this login model. If you see this login model, we can see username is Ram and password is Ram. So now I am sending this login detail to the service layer. So if you see here, it will go to control to. Now I am going to put the breakpoint here. So actually it will come out from the breakpoint. I am going to show you because the breakpoint is breaking. Whenever I click this button, it will come the controller to. So here we can see. So now I am going to put the breakpoint. So here I am going to put the one breakpoint and I am going to put the breakpoint in service layer. I am going to put the breakpoint, one breakpoint here and one more breakpoint in login DAO implementation. So now I am going to click the F6 button. It will come to the here. Here we can see the username and password and I am going to click the F6 button, it will jump into the login to your class. Here we can see the details. Here this login form contain the username and password. Whenever if you click on F6, it will go to the login to your class. So in this login to your class, here we are creating the session factory object. Through session factory we are creating the session object. Here if you see this login modal containing the username and password, whenever click this F6 button, now here we can see the query. So here we can see the insert into login username and password. So here username and password in setting, and it will store into the database. Now I am going to show you the, so now control come out from the loop. So if you go to the database and check if the username and password is stored or not. So here we can see RAM username, password is RAM. So data is stored in the database. So friends, everything is completed. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching this video.